This is stunning, by the way, isn't it?
It is absolutely beautiful. So this is the Melrose Dove Grey mixed with the Melrose Carbon.
I can't wait to get using this kitchen as well. Shall we do some food?
Please.
So there we go. We've got some lovely Maris Pipers in this case, but King Edwards are very good for roast potatoes. So for the time being, I'm going to put those on power boost just to get that hot really, really quickly.
Get it going.
And then as soon as I've got it kind of on a rolling boil, I'll simply turn that down. We'll set that timer. So you can see we've come up to the boil really quickly.
Yeah, and I can see the fans back on.
Yeah, so that's now extracting that steam. So I'm just going to turn this down to like a nice simmer now. And all we'll do now is we'll set the timer for this. We said about 10, 12 minutes, something like that. Perfect, so that's turned itself off, which is brilliant, lovely.
Do you have any good tips for doing roast potatoes?
Yes, and as always, it's simpler than you think. So I've just got a bowl here, I've got a little colander. So I'm just going to carefully pour that hot water into there and let that drain off nicely. Now, can you see there's loads of steam coming off here?
Yeah.
You want to let that drive off, and that means that when we put a little bit of cold pressed rapeseed oil on in a minute, after we've preheated the baking tray for the roast potatoes, you're going to get a much, much better roast potato. So you can see that steam's driving off already. The hob is switched off. I'm going to just pop those potatoes back into that saucepan. Now that saucepan is still nice and hot.
Yeah. So
what's going to happen there is, again, that's just going to help let this steam drive off. And then all we need to do, a little bit of cold pressed rapeseed oil, like that. Very gently, just give those a little...
Nothing else?
No, a little move around, and I'll come back into my lovely drawer here. And I'm just going to take one of these and just very gently, I'm going to turn those over.
Oh, okay.
So you notice I actually haven't put much oil on there at all. But all of those potatoes are now really nicely coated with a very thin layer of that lovely cold pressed rapeseed oil. And I don't know if you can see there, just that slight amount of movement just slightly roughs up the edges.
Yeah.
And that means we're going to get a really super crisp roast potato. They're going to be absolutely delicious. So that's it, it's so simple. And if you've got all the right cupboards in the right place and the right drawers in the right place, everything just becomes super easy, and that's what you want, especially for Christmas dinner. So I'm just going to put the potatoes there because I know the turkey is going to come out here in a moment. Roast potatoes, parboiled, let the steam go, cold pressed rapeseed oil on them. Let's open the door, just use my tea towel, and then we just simply, and there's that lovely sizzle. You hear that? That's what we're looking for, that lovely sizzle. So I'm just going to take, with my tea towel, this roasting rack and just pop that up there. That will be for our pigs in blankets in about 20 minutes' time. Our roast potatoes are looking really good, so I'll just open those for a moment. You see how good they're looking already?
They're looking very good.
So I'll take one of my tongs here and I'll just turn those over. So it's a good idea just to flip them over at least once, just so you can get a lovely kind of caramelized colour on those. And what we'll do now is we'll actually put our pigs in blankets in. We'll put those on the top. And pigs in blankets, typically you're talking like 15, 20 minutes, something like that. So they don't take very long to caramelise up. They look superb. And again, remember, because we put the rapeseed oil onto the potatoes, there's very little oil in there.
Yeah.
And they're still getting a lovely colour. So we'll just take our pigs in blankets, we'll pop those straight in there, shut the door, and we're good to go. All we need to do now, add our roast potatoes and our lovely pigs in blankets. Whoa. That is just delicious.
Yeah, that's actually really, really good.